in Cole Dodd's video, and here he is. Two-time state champion from Fern Creek. Sir, if you would, tell us who you are.
Jorge Vega, graduated 2015, won a state championship in 2013 and 2014, or 2015, sorry.
And I was going to say 2013 and 2015 state champion. So you get 2 review videos, and like we said in Cole's video, we were talking about everybody in that 2015 team, and I'd be like, Jorge, daggone you, man, you got to get with me. Reach out. And we was able to get it lined up. We've been trying to get together for, it seems like, since we started the series, because I think you were one of the first people to reach out wanting to do yours, and just haven't been able to get it lined up. But here we are today.
Here we are.
Man, thank you for doing it. I really appreciate it. I know life can be busy, especially with everything you've got going on. I think you said maybe there may or may not be a marriage in the future, and we want to wish you and your soon-to-be spouse the best that life can offer you. But let's go back in time. Let's take a break from wedding planning, and let's talk about, how does a young Jorge Vega find wrestling? Like we ask everybody this question, what's the spark that's like, I got to do this, I'm good at this?
So, man, I actually grew up playing baseball, and then I used to live in the same neighborhood as Cole, and we were good friends for about 2 years, and he kind of like mentioned, hey, why don't you try wrestling? We were always outdoors and stuff, and he was like, why don't you try wrestling? And I was like, no way, like, I'm not putting on a singlet. And then I believe it was like my 7th grade year or my 8th grade year, he was like, why don't you come to this camp with me? And so I went to the camp. I fell in love with it, and then after that, it was going to every tournament outside of the state with him, traveling with him. Him and his mom kind of just were there for everything. So they took me everywhere, and he showed me like the in and outs of the sport. So
no, I get it, man. And it's always great to have somebody that you're friends with that gets you into the sport, because we've heard so many people say wrestling can be a grind. It's a grind cutting weight. It's a grind going to meets on Saturdays, spending all days in the gym. But if you've got somebody you're friends with that you're like, all right, this may not be the most enjoyable thing I've ever done in my life, but at least I've got somebody I'm friends with, and I know we can get through this. We can, do whatever it is we enjoy doing, video games or after the season or whatever. But it's always good to have somebody there that you can just be like, man, I'm glad you're here. You know what I mean?
For sure.
And you start off, though, this is your 2013 video, and you might be able to help us out on this, because I was looking, I pride myself on my bracket research, and maybe I just overlooked you, but as a freshman, did you not make it to the state tournament, or what's the story on that?
So freshman year, I was never really there. So freshman year, I was academically unable to wrestle. So I completely didn't wrestle at all. I wasn't in the room. I just stopped wrestling. And I want to say Cole was like, man, you should just like come back and wrestle. Because I had a couple headbutts with the head coach at the time. And it was mainly because of my academics. Mm-hmm. So that's really that. I just wasn't, my grades weren't up to par.
Well, I didn't know that, and I wasn't trying to put you on the spot. I just didn't know. But you talk about a great comeback story, because as a freshman, I mean, maybe grades weren't up to snuff, but as a sophomore in 2013, you come in, you win the daggone thing.
Yeah. So
So,
man, no, I don't mind at all. Like, I mean, that it is a part of who I am, you know. You learn off of every mistake you have. And
mhm.
I mean, that's one of the best things of wrestling is even after a loss, you always want to come back and stronger than you even started. So
Yeah, absolutely, man, absolutely. And that was I didn't know that, but it's a great addition to your story because I'm sure a lot of
for sure.
people, we've all been. For those of us that have graduated high school, we've all went through that slump. We're like, what are we doing with our lives? You know what I mean?
Hmm.
School is stupid. I hate getting up. I hate coming. I hate having to do tests. Grades are dumb. But man, you have like I said, a great comeback story. So let's talk about that 2013 season. You're a sophomore, 106 pounds, and it seems like just looking at your bracket and looking at your record, you end with the season with a 47-5 record. It really looks like you, as the old saying goes, the old cliche, you buckled down, man. You really got focused and you really got the best out of yourself because, like I said, you win it. So, for people watching this that may be in the same boat as you, same shape as you, maybe they're done with school or whatever, or just like, man, this grades are pointless. What was it that really got you going to get yourself focused to be like, I know I'm not giving my best. I know what my best is. Now let's go prove it.
Yeah. So I really want to say, Coach Hitchings, man, he just was always kind of. They would always say like, man, you have the potential. You you got it. You just gotta put your foot down and kind of do it, you know. So I think I had like it was I don't know, man. It's kind of confusing. I had ups and downs all season. Kind of just I was in it, then I was out, then I was in, then I was out. So really, just kind of telling yourself, man, this is really what I want, and just feeding off the people around you, really.
I understand, man, and that's one thing I love about this series. Is so many individual stories about guys that have been on top of the podium that can relate to so many people. Whether or not you ever meet them, you're not just your story, but other people's stories, whoever it is. We're closing in now on video number 300 for our review series, and every video, everybody's story's been different and they all can speak to people. Maybe not every single person will identify with every single person that we've interviewed with, but at least people can understand that it's not always people's lives aren't always sunshines and rainbows. Sometimes it takes a little bit of refocusing to be like, all right, I know these 2 coaches, 3 coaches, this one person believes in me. Maybe I should start believing in myself.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, and for sure. I know Coach Tishner, he wasn't around for like my sophomore and senior year, or my junior and senior year, but sophomore year, he kind of was never he's not the type to always be in your ear. He's always like there. He's there and you know he's there, and he's always kind of telling you what you want to hear, even though it's probably not what's need to be heard.
Yeah.
But it helped out a lot, and yeah, man. Dodd, everybody on that team. So
And so let's talk about that 2013 state tournament real quick. You're a sophomore, 106 pounds. You start off the tournament with a tech fall over Austin Pinkerman from Ashland Blazer. You win that by a 16-1 tech fall. You get to the second round. You get a major decision over Brad Krebs from Campbell County. You win that by a 14-4. Like I said, major decision. You get to the quarters. You're wrestling David Hernandez from Henry Clay. You win that by a 9-3 decision. David goes on to get 5th place. So the Hernandez brothers, Henry Clay, John and David, both outstanding wrestlers. Can't say enough about those guys. Just
Right.
phenomenal guys there. And you get to the semis, and you wrestle a soon-to-be teammate, if you will. You wrestle AJ Bender. At the time, he was at St. Xavier, and you win that by a 9-7 decision, and AJ goes on to get third place that year. And of course, AJ's 2016 review videos on the 2016 review videos on the channel. Go back and watch it after you watch Jorge's here. It's in the Fern Creek playlist. So you're in the finals as a sophomore. I believe, I could be wrong, but I think you're the only Fern Creek state champion or state finalist that year, correct?
Yes, yeah.
Okay, I thought so. And you're here, you're in the finals. Does Coach Hitchings come to you and say, what advice does Coach Hitchings give you before you go out? Because we know Mark's videos on review videos on the channel as well. 1981 state champion at Fern Creek. Does he come to you and give you any like secretive advice, or what's the speech before you go out there?
Man, it's hard to recall, but I know that he wasn't much of an overthinker. He was kind of just like, let's do this thing. And I know that a lot of people might not remember, but the Branches, Jeff and Jared Branch, they were in a car accident at middle school state. And so wow. it was a pretty bad wreck. So Jeff was in a wheelchair. He was not doing too good. Jared was all beat up, and he made it to the state tournament, but wasn't sure if he was going to be able to go down there. Mm-hmm. So they actually let him on the floor, and that was honestly one of my I'm gonna do it for Jeff Branch kind of thing. Gave me a little boost. Because growing up, he was always there. The Branches were always there, Optimus. And he was kind of one of those guys one of those coaches that always pushed me and let me know my potential. And he's always been in my corner. So that was a big help right there.
No, I get it, man. And that's, again, stories like that about people that, we may know the names, but don't know their story. And just knowing that about, you coming in, it's that's why I like to ask guys during the video if they had, a lot of family, a lot of friends, people like that in the crowd, because you just don't know what somebody's going through. I mean, you right. Really don't. And knowing that you had, that kind of support there, it was, only you know what it means, but it got you through it. And if we didn't say it, you're in the finals. We're not going to tell you the score, but you're wrestling Trevor Lawson from Woodford County. And has it been a while since you've seen this video?
It has been. I think the last time you sent it to me was the last time I watched it.
Okay. I was going to say we usually we don't send videos out to guys. We like to make sure it's the first time they've watched them in a while or whatever. But as long as we've been trying to get up with Jorge, I thought, why not throw him a bone, help a buddy out. So we're going to pull up your video here.
So that's funny, because when I was asking about it, and I think that was a little bit, you might have just started the videos, or you didn't start yet, but you were about to start. And I kept asking you because I couldn't get a hold of the board to see where the archive was, because they used to have it on the website, but then it got taken down. So
yeah, and that's been something that we have found in our research, doing or research and gathering the videos, is there's a lot of factors that have went into videos being distributed, not archived properly, not labeled properly, not maintained in the same spot. And that's why I love being able to say we have all these videos, all these years. That way people know that we have what has been located so far in a space that we know it's going to be used. It's not going to sit on a shelf. It's not just going to sit in some, old filing cabinet or in some desk in a hard drive. No, we're going to use it. We're going to get videos like Jorge's and put them out on our channel so people can hear his stories and just see how good he was. So, with that being said, man, here we go. And this is one of the better singlet matchups we've had, the orange and yellow. I love that look. All right, so right here, we're kind of feeling each other out. What are we looking to do from neutral? What was your bread and butter here?
Man, I was kind of a duck under or a high C, knee transfer kind of guy. Shout out AJ. That's really about it, man. I was always my first line of like defense is always my head, as it should be. And I would always tell myself, man, if you can stop someone neutral with your head, then the reattack will always be there. You just got to set the reattack up.
Right. And it looks like you've got Rocky, our good friend Rocky Durham, on the whistle. Out we're neutral. I'm not sure who the assistant is. I can't think of his name off the top of my head. Now, had you wrestled Trevor before this?
No, I do not believe
there
so.
It is.
I think it was the first time I wrestled him.
There it is. Two. Good move right there.
Super
and I see Coach Hitchings over there. Is that Hitchings in the corner? And who's with him?
That's Coach Tishner.
Okay. All right.
Funny thing about that move is, man, I never hit it in a match, and I just seen it happen. I was new to like the Super Deck before the state tournament, and I'm kind of like one of those things, or one of those guys where like I see something and I've never tried it.
Right.
I want to try it like my next time I wrestle.
And you picked a great time to use it in the state finals. You know what I mean?
Right.
Now on top here, doing a pretty good job with the ride. He's tried a few offensive, try to get up, whatever. You've been able to hold him down. That's the end of the period. And I'd have to imagine he took down, correct?
Right.
Okay. Now, on top here, you're working good, like you're trying to lock up a cradle there. Were you like a scrambler? Did you have like a turn or a tilt you were really good at? Or
honestly, I wasn't much of I didn't turn many people. I didn't score many points on top. I kind of was just really, I was a neutral guy. I would take people down, let them up. If I needed to ride, I was capable of riding, but I wasn't much of a turner. That's really about it. I like to be a backpack, so kind of they stand up, I kind of imitate their move and bring them back down to the mat. That's about it. Not even mat return, honestly.
No, hey man, it worked. He hits a Granby right there. He gets his one, so it's 2-1 in the second period. That was a nice move on his part. It really was.
Yeah, them Woodford boys, they love them Granbys.
And in the background, you can hear chants of "Let's go Jorge" and then "Let's go Woodford." So you got the crowd into it. I hear Coach Carr in the corner for him. I can hear that distinct voice. We're out. We're neutral. the nice escape whenever I was cutting that down. I was like, man, that's a nice way to get out of that. Now, you're on bottom here. First time we've seen you down. You said you were like a backpack on top. Did you feel equally as like just whatever they give me, I'm going to take on bottom, or?
Yeah, kind of throughout my whole wrestling career, I felt like getting up on bottom was one of my strong points. A lot of people say don't put your head down, but kind of my go-to was head on the mat, elbows in, kind of waiting for somebody to throw them legs in.
Yeah.
I either catch or I kind of work like a head on the mat, elbows in into a tripod stand up. But yeah, I was fairly strong on bottom.
I get it, man. I get it. All right, we wrestle out of bounds. We're neutral. Could have been a little bit of danger right there, but you were able to get to your feet. You can hear Coach Carr in the corner. They're wanting you to step. They're wanting you to step just like that right there. He just can't hit it on you.
And so with that head, with my me always kind of having my head on their shoulder a little bit, or like right below their head, I knew that he was gonna want to hit like a high C sweep, like fake high C sweep. Right. That was like Boston's bread and butter. And so that year I felt like they were super strong on that high C swoop single. Right. So I was kind of looking for that, but.
And there it is, man. You win a 3-1 decision, become the 2013 106-pound state champion. Excellent performance, man. Excellent performance. And there's Coach Hitchings. Make sure you go over and sign your bout sheet.
And I was running over to Jeff Branch because he was in the wheelchair. Okay. Yeah, he was in the wheelchair over by the officials. So that was like my first initial thought. Yeah.
Okay, that makes sense. That makes 100% sense right there, man. That's great. And like you said earlier, you got it I think last year before last. I don't exactly remember when I sent it to you, but it's been a while. You know, you've had it for a while. But like when you watch the match, even, we know the outcome and you win and the scoring and all that. Do you still kind of feel your body trying to like move like you're still trying to wrestle it, like you're trying to wrestle the match?
I was never really one of those people, like when I watch action movies or stuff like that, I was never really one to like get in the action, but I do have the thought like, oh man, I could have done this better. Or,
Yeah.
I see this now, but yeah.
No, I completely get it. And it should be, because this will come up in your 2015 video. It should be noted that I don't think I can't imagine that there's too many teams that's ever done this. 2012, Fern Creek had 0 state placers, and they sent 5 people to the state tournament, and the team tied for 59th place. All right. Now, 2013, what we just watched, 1 state champion, and they come in 20th place. Now, when we get to 2015 video, we'll elaborate a little bit more on that. But it's just when I was doing my research, I was like, man, we got to bring that up. It's such a great, how quick that with the right guys wrestling, the right coaching staff in place, just how quick a program can build, just how quick you can get to the top of the mountain. So, Jorge, man, I think we've reached a good ending point with this one. We'll talk more about your 2015, of course, when we get there, 2014 as well, and what you've done after high school. So we're going to wrap the 2013 video up. We will see everybody in 2015.